could find the comments, that would be great. Yay! Hi, Melinda. All right, cool. Hello. So yeah, I did practice this before I went on, but you know, it's like it's mirroring me, but it's like backwards. So okay. Hello. Welcome to the Tin Can Craft live I'm doing today, and it's really easy. It's like I feel like it's almost too easy, so maybe I should like ramp it up a little. I don't know if we can do that, but basically what it is something I used to do with my daughter Veronica when we were, you know, stuck in the house or just needing a simple craft to do. And I have this weird obsession with tin. They're not really tin, I understand that, but tin cans. And I make a lot of sauce. Last name is Napolitano, and I don't make it from fresh tomatoes because obviously I live in Maine and can't always do that. So, can't. Anyway, so I frequently collect these. I have an absurd amount of them. So these have become, oh my God, they've become pencil cases, you know, like little pencil holders. You can put like that. You can even keep them this way, minimalist. You can put scissors in them. I would put felt in the bottom of it if I were going to use it for scissors, because as we all know, fabric scissors are sacred. And there's just, it's cool because it's cheap, almost free, versatile. And I was thinking that today what I wanted to make was a can that was decorated for holiday. And my brainstorm idea was to fill it with candy or little tiny presents and gift it probably to my mom. And she can return it to me next year with stuff in it, because that's how I'd like to get it back. I like the soup cans for a smaller one, but I also like these, and my lovely husband said he will get me some number 10 cans. They're like enormous, and I'll be able to play with those. I also wanted to show a box, because last year I decorated, we go back to New York to celebrate holidays with my family. So when we bring the gifts, last year I decided to get a big box and decorate it like with buffalo check plaid wrapping paper, and that became sort of the vessel to bring the gifts in. And my mother kept it because she thought it was very cool. And it actually reminded me of something my great aunt Verge did, and she grew up during Depression era. So she had a lot of ways to make things look really pretty with very minimal things. And she made a chimney one year out of this giant box and like chimney wrapping paper. It was very cool. But she had to keep it every year because, you know, I was a little kid and I looked forward to it. So I was going to do something like that with this, that you could put your little tin cans in after they're all pretty and decorated. So, I'm trying to think. You don't really need too much. And you can decorate it with whatever you want. Veronica and I used to do like a decoupage type of thing. So for that, you would need either Elmer's glue, you know, and a little bit of water. And what you do is you take paper. We took pictures. She's got one of her dad. Like there's a picture of her dad right on the front of the can, and like all these cool words, like, you know, inspiring words and things like that. You could do this for Halloween. You could do this for anything. You could do this just because you feel like making something. Like, who cares, right? I do mine with fabric, and then I use Mod Podge to decoupage the thing. And they last forever. She's got some that we made, I think, when she was probably 5. So the only thing I will caution you about is the little thing. Let's see if you can see that. See that? That's bad. That's like perfect for injury. We don't want to get injured while crafting. That's not a good time. So what I will do is I'll take a pair of pliers and I will tidy that up. Now, I will say I've put these through the dishwasher because I don't want to clean that. But I mean, if you have to, just take a scrub brush and make sure it's really clean and dry before you start crafting with them. You could even line the inside. So for Veronica, when she was little, I'm terrified of her getting injured, I took electrical tape, and I put it on the inside of that and made it part of like the design. So there's that. That's what I did. So without further ado, I'm going to try to point my computer to my mess of an area here. And this is hysterical. I mean, like, if you could see how I'm actually doing this, it's ridiculous. I need a laptop. Okay, so I put out all these little things. I don't particularly love this angle, but we'll work with what we have. And here's a, this is just some of my fabric. This is my personal stash. And I was thinking what I wanted to do was I'm going to work with probably this material, which you've all seen on my website. I make a lot of stuff with this. And it's twill, so it's really durable. You can make some really nice ties. You could even like not stitch a thing. Well, we're not stitching today anyway, unless you want to. But, and you could tie, you know, you can make cute little ties on that with that. But I'm going to show you how I do it, and then you can just run wild with it on, you know, your own. I got a new glue gun. We'll see how it works, because I'm not really super jazzed about it yet. But at any rate, there it is. Oh, we're going to go with my trusty guy over here, which I already plugged in, so we don't have to wait for that. I like hot glue. It's fast, and I'm very impatient. So if you know me personally, you know that's how I roll. Some things. It's ironic because I was a teacher for so long. Patient with my kids, but just crafting, I like things to be, I don't know. Sometimes I like to go slow. With sewing, I go slowly, depending on what it is. But with crafting, I like instant gratification of a nice little project. Neat and done. So anyway, you could take lots of different fabric and you could wrap your whole thing in this. And what I did last night was I went out gallivanting in my woods and I built a huge fire so I didn't freeze to death. And I went collecting different things. As you can see, this is balsam, of course my favorite. But then there's white pine, which I think, other than the Charlie Brown effect of the tree it's fallen up, I think this is going to be my, I'm going to make a centerpiece, is what I'm trying to say. So there's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my, and like you can, you know, you can do whatever you want. Like you can do just paper. You can do, you could decoupage it with pictures and photographs. That would be a really nice gift to, you know, make for grandparents or parents or whomever with the kids, because this is a really kid-friendly craft as soon as you get rid of that little thing, which I keep talking about, but I haven't gotten rid of it yet, have I? No, I haven't. Okay. Actually, I'm changing my mind. I want this. I'm in love with this fabric. I've been making a lot of things for the website with it, for the business, and I'm telling you, when you see how ridiculously easy this is, you're going to be like, really? She went live about that? But I just thought it'd be fun, and I've been wanting to do this for quite some time. So you can, when you're putting out your fabric or whatever, the cool thing about this is it's really not fussy. Like you could just fold that edge over to make a, can you see that? Like there's the edge, and all you have to do is measure it out. You could even tuck it inside, or you could just fold it and like sort of roll the can onto it, you see. So then you don't have the frayed edge, unless you want a frayed edge, which is fine too. So that's what I mean. This is a really easy, quick craft to do. And it looks pretty when it's done, I promise. So I'm just gonna eyeball this. I know, this is really technical. This is impressive, I know. And what I have is this, okay. I got this from, this is a marking pen, or like chalk, and it's awesome. I did get it from Crafty Gemini. She's amazing. If you want to learn sewing, stitching, crafting, she is awesome. I've been following her for over a decade. So she has this on her website, and what's cool about it is it makes a mark on your fabric, just like a regular stitching chalk. Like if you're sewing, I use these all the time, and you see that white mark there? That'll come off. But what's cool about it is it's really accurate. So I'm just going to mark with this guy here, if you can see what I'm doing. Maybe get my stuff out of the way. Learning curve, folks, learning curve. There we go. And I'm just going to look at the top and look at the bottom and just mark it. Really simple. And I can even see on this, it's that yellow line in the plaid. one of the things I love about plaid is that it has its sort of own marking. You just roll it to where you want it, and I'm covering it, and I'm eyeballing it. You could also measure it, but I'm not going to do that because I'm just rebellious like that. That's what they call me, Rebellious Kim. No, nobody calls me that. Okay, and then I'm going to find my line. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of this. God, I love this fabric. It's just so pretty. Okay, we're putting that over there for now. Look at this, useful. Check it out. Wow. Okay. So then you've got this. You can all see what I'm doing, cool. And I'm gonna fold it like that, just like a 1/4 inch, if you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to come a little closer. One day I'll have a laptop and this will be a lot easier. I don't have a laptop. My laptop died. That was a fun day. And then we're gonna put the can on there. Can you see it? There. See where my little line was? Right up there. And I'm just gonna hot glue, like a little dab. And you could even, like, you could use Elmer's glue if you want to do that. That's completely, totally fine too. It just takes a little while to let it dry. You could also, if you were careful, you could put, and I did learn this from Vanessa at Crafty Gemini, you can use that as like a basing glue, and then you could iron it. So then you would have like totally flattened. But for this, I think I'm just gonna make that edge. Let's see. I'm gonna go backwards so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of going across this, it's like a, I'd say it's like a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, whatever. It's just really a seam. You're making a seam. And again, you could stitch this if you wanted to. You could take it a step further and do something I did a couple months ago. I took a dishwasher tab box and I just made sort of like a sleeve for it, and I did stitch that. So, okay, here we go. And then you see you've got plenty of room. You want to get that really close to the edge though, so it doesn't, you know, interfere with the bottom, because you want that to be flat. So there's that. And you go ahead and do the same thing to the top and just, you know, line it up as you go. Just like that. Okay. The other thing you want to do, I mean, it's up to you. I used to tell Veronica, no raw edges. So I don't like raw edges, so I'm going to make a little seam here. And no raw edges. No raw edges. I know, I'm wildly entertaining, aren't I? You're all hysterical laughing. You laughing now? Good. Okay. It's the hair, isn't it? This is the middle of the day do. Middle of the day do? Who says that? Nobody says that. I guess I just did. All right. Anyway, trying to make this quick for you because I know everybody's very busy. It's the busy time of year. It's the bananas time of year, as I call it. Okay. So once you've got your little edges, I know I didn't do the top one yet, but I'll show you. I'm going to show you what you could do with it, and then you can run wild. So I'm going to attach this to the can. And the cool thing about this is that it really does take fabric really well if you're using hot glue. You could also use, if you really wanted to get crazy, you could use Gorilla Glue. I have not tried rubber cement. I don't know how that would work with it, but I would recommend hot glue. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to put the edge on first. And this is not the edge, this is the raw edge. This is not the one that has the little lip, because that's going to go on after. Okay? So here we go. Glue, glue, glue. Glue, 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 glue. Sound like Pee Wee Herman. Glue, glue, glue. Glue, glue. My workshop is starting to turn into like Pee Wee's Playhouse. I'll show you my dinosaurs later. Okay. So you get that on there nice and tight. and smooth it, because you know if you work with hot glue, you know how fast it goes. There we go. Again, it does not have to be perfect. I think there should be less aiming to be perfect in this world. It's kind of ridiculous. And I will give you a really good example of how that just happened. It was intentional. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And I'm just gonna glue, and you gotta be careful. Just be mindful of the fact that hot glue, one, it's hot. Two, it makes little bumps. So if you don't want that on your little can, look how cute. How long did that take? 10 minutes? Apparently 20 with all my gabbing. I talk a lot. And here you can see what I did, but I'm going to show you how to fix things, because my dad's a carpenter, and he always says if you can fix your mistakes, you'll be fine. So not like this was necessarily a mistake. Hold that thought. I'm going to get a tool. I don't have it, so I usually have like a wrench, not a wrench, pliers, and I want to get that little thing out before I maim myself. I just don't have one. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this in, because I kind of like that. All you do is you just glue it. This is all just gluing. This is like kindergarten stuff, but I mean not hot glue, obviously. Although Veronica was using them supervised when she was little. Presented a problem in school though, because they don't do that in school. So I let her use regular tools most of her existence, you know, obviously age appropriate to a point. And she actually learned a needle felt when she was about 4. And if you know anything about needle felting, those needle felt needles are massive. All right. Need a new glue stick. Gonna need more glue. All right. And you just get those. See what I'm doing here? All I did was I glued it around. And then look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Just say it's pretty. So what I can do, because I didn't do that right, you could take some lace. Check this out. I think this is from Mauden's, and I've had it for about 850 years. So these are not fabric scissors. Yes, they are. See, it says fabric. That's a no-no. Guys, glad you tuned in. How many people? Oh, people are going to be leaving soon. Okay, so here's how to fix something like that. Now you can use your fabric scissors. Look at that. Oh my God, it's so pretty. So I'm going to actually put 2 on there, because to me, the scalloped edge, I think would look nice if I flipped it and did that. So that's what we're going to do right now. And this time I'm going to make sure I make it long enough. Okay, and I'm going to tuck that edge, because you know how I feel about raw edges. There's no place in crafting for raw edge unless there is. All right, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Tuck that in. Don't burn yourself. I can't actually feel my fingers anymore, so that's all good. Calluses. Build calluses with crafting. Okay. See? No one's going to look at that. And you could always cover it with felt. I'll have felt. And then the top part, I'm going to glue. Glue, glue, glue. Thank God there's only like 5 of you here, because if this were... Listen, it's getting late in the day. Getting a little wacky. Also, I had espresso. All right. So there's my little edge to fix that horrible mistake. Horrible. I'm just going to do the same thing. Oh, come on. Look at that. See, this is a good example of how a mistake came out pretty. Glue, glue, glue. 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 I hope you guys are getting a kick out of this, because this is ridiculous. Oh my God. I don't honestly know how my family and friends put up with me, because As you can see, I don't really get out much, so this is just me. Unfiltered. Raw. Alright, so I'm just gonna glue this edge. You know, I can't even tell if you can see. That's terrible. I'll do this better. If I do this again. If you'll have me back. So we're actually almost finished, believe it or not. Tin Can Crafts. 5-minute crafts. My God, has anyone ever watched those? Woo! Like, nope, that is not fun. It's like recipes too. I mean, I have some food bloggers that I absolutely adore, but sometimes I'm like, that says 10 minutes. Not in my planet. It's going to take me at least 10 minutes to get to the kitchen, let alone get all the supplies. And prep work? Okay, anyway. Not bad. Isn't that cute? Look how cute. Look, that's hot glue. Hot glue snots. Okay, I gotta stop. And I see there's comments. I have no idea how to get to your comment. Oh, hi. Oh my God. Nancy. I did just put a ribbon on it. Beth, oh my God. All right. So there's the little thing. And I'm thinking this looks like a Mrs. Claus body. Like you could put buttons on that. That would be cute. I actually have lots of buttons. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, okay. So here's what my plan was for this. And like I said, the inside of that doesn't look great, but you could I'll show you what I would do. What I'm going to do. I have electrical tape in many colors. Don't ask questions. Just that's what I have. And like you could take red and match it, or you could take black. Kind of fond of this. I'm going to put the black in there. And what's really funny is that my friend Nancy is on, and she was here, witness to my crazy fire pit excursions last night. And what I did was I was collecting, let's see what I'm doing. I'm just putting that on the inside. See, that's all. And I'm just going to go around. She was here witnessing my ridiculousness last night, but she's awesome, and she just loves me as I am. But I love building fire pits. And my husband said when he got home from his stuff, he said, oh, someone saw that we had a big fire in the backyard from the road. I'm like, oh, it wasn't that big, but it was beautiful. So anyway, there we go. Now it's nice and safe. And we could put, I really want to put buttons. But if you have like anything, seriously, you can put anything on here. Like I said, I'm fond of doing the pictures. Like I think that's really cool. And I would decoupage them because then it would keep them, lasting a long time. Like I said, Veronica's got one with a picture of her dad on it that she's seriously had for probably 9 years now. It looks exactly the same as when we first made it. So this is a really quick way to upcycle. And here's a thought. You could put, like I was talking about before, you could put candy in it. I'm a huge fan of Tony's Chocolonely. Thanks to Nancy for that too. But this is what I had on hand. So you could make a bag, a little cloth bag, which I would have to do another tutorial for. And if you do want to make cloth bags, I'm going to direct you to Vanessa at Crafty Gemini because she's amazing. You could fill this with the little bag and then put candy in it, and you'd have a little top. You could turn the top into like a little gnome. So many things you could do with this. But if you're a teacher, what I used to do with these is I had a bunch of teacher aids. I had an absurd amount of them one year. I had like 4. And I brought a ton of these in, and I brought magazines to them, pens, pencils, all the craft supplies. And I had them make these little cans that went on each of the desks. And I put pens and pencils and scissors and all kinds of craft supplies. I know I taught high school English, but a lot of times I would like my kids to I let them doodle, because a lot of kids that have a hard time focusing, if they can doodle while they're listening, it actually helps them focus better. So I had a lot of that. I did a lot of craft English class type of projects. So anyway, I had my teacher aides decorate all these, and I left them on the desks. It was really cool. But like I said, you could put chocolates in there. I used to get chocolate coins for Christmas as a kid, and this would be imagine like anyway. All right, so here's the other part of it. Like I said, I got these balsam. Let me get this chocolate out of here. I don't need any more of that. I am quite hyper enough on my own. So you could do a centerpiece thing too. And I did have, hold on, I have so, believe it or not, this is leftover from my wedding. My best friend made bouquets from the flowers in our garden at the time of the house, and I have this left over and it still works. So you could use this. You could use my screen just lost. There we go. You could use the wire, the craft wire, and you can tie them together really simply. These are my crappy scissors. You can take this and just cut them. And piece them together kind of like how you want them, right? And then you can add them to the can too. Or make a little, see what I'm doing there? A little bottom centerpiece type, bottom centerpiece. A bottom centerpiece? What is that even? Like a little ring with these, and I think that would look really pretty. That's what I'm gonna do. And I have balsam, of course. And another idea, I'm not gonna finish all these things, but you could, put, that's a little much. You could take these oh my God, that smells good. Take the little branches and stick them in. Make like a nice little winter themed centerpiece, right? They're pretty. Oh. And if you live in Maine, I'm gonna say I don't think that the white pine would be difficult to find anywhere. If you live close to me and you want to come over, I've got tons of it. So yeah, I want to put these in the back. Super cute. And then, like what ends up happening with anything I do, I keep adding to it. And that's why you'll see on my website all the 550,000 different types of products that I make. Because if you give a Kim a craft project, she's going to want to expand. All right. And I'm telling you, this smells so good. Clip that little guy. It's a little too big. Well, it's kind of therapeutic. Uh-oh. Here we go. I'm going to start trimming this. Just kidding. I won't go crazy with it. But you could just keep filling it with, whatever. And I think that would be really lovely. And I am going to add buttons. I'm going to add buttons because I think that would be fun. I'm going to check the comments. Look at, yes, buttons and kittens and mittens. Stephanie, I'm so freaking funny. I am funny. I'm actually funnier when I'm more prepared. There we go. Okay. So there's the little thing. The little thing. What do we want to call this? I'm going to say this is like a good centerpiece. And you could, I just thought of this, you could put inside here, if you got, I wouldn't use a real candle, you could put one of those, what are they called? The fake candles. You put the fake candle in here. It would be pretty. Stick it on the table. Be like, yeah, Merry Christmas. Of course, you can make this for any holiday. I think I'm going to make a bunch of them for Halloween, because if you could see actually the rest of the shop, it's still decorated for Halloween, and it will continue to be so because it's my favorite holiday. You could put some lights on it. I'm cracking up because my friend Stephanie just said I'm so freaking funny. But look how... If you got really clever and creative, you could take these little fairy lights. I have way too many of them. And you could put this in there. I like to, when I'm working with fairy lights, oh my god, you put it in there. I would put them on before you decorate, because then you could really see what they look like, and you could just intertwine them inside there. I'm not going to do it right now, but one could if one was so inclined. And those are purple because Halloween. But yeah, I think this is super cute, and you could put pictures on here too. You could do whatever you want. So, but that's my silly, absurd live video. I haven't done one in a long time, can you tell? But yeah, so I hope you got something out of that. I hope you can use it. Oh, and I wanted to show you real quick. Whoa! Let's not get too crazy here. This is why on like shows they have assistants who come in and take all this stuff away, and everything looks so nice when they, you know, like cooking shows and stuff. I don't have that. So it is what it is. Again, with this, you could do fabric also. If you have old t-shirts that aren't quite good enough for, say, donating to Goodwill or whatever, you could use that. I'm a fan of reusing as many things as humanly possible and then gifting them, because sharing is caring. Okay, let me stop. So I have this lovely paper. It's dual-sided. And I am going to use this box to gift. And yes, I do wrapping for any project you buy on PerryHomeNaturals.com. So I like this paper. It's two-sided, so it's got this really pretty pine, and then it's got the plaid on the other side. I think I'm going to use the pine part. And all you do is you wrap it like you're wrapping a regular box. That's it. It's so easy. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, okay. I'm not doing a good job with this, but that's all right. It's a little trickier than a regular box, because a regular box you can do this, which I'm going to do, and then I'm going to cut it in the middle because it'll probably look nicer. Be a little bit easier to manage. I worked for 800,050 years at Barnes & Noble, and which I really did love working for that company. I learned a lot there. And one of the things I had to do was gift wrap. And this was on Long Island on the Miracle Mile. Stephanie will know what I'm talking about. And it was really, really high stress. So I could wrap faster than a speeding bullet. And let's see. For the sake of what we're doing here, I'm going to grab this tape because I forgot my other tape. Don't touch me. No one's going to see the bottom. It's really more for... You would use clear tape. Ew, look at that. Okay. And you could even do it like, just like you're wrapping a box. It's not hard. And I will save all this extra, because I always do. Until I have too many little extra pieces and I don't remember why I kept them. You know how that goes. It's horrible. I'm so sorry. But I think you get the idea. And you could glue it. I'm going to glue it. Ideally, you would tape it. just gonna cut this. You can see what I'm doing. This is the middle of the, see? I'm eyeballing it. And then it's kind of like, just cutting that in the, like that. So I don't know if, when I was a kid, there were little cereal boxes, and you cut the middle. My dad told me this. You cut it through like the inside piece and the paper on the outside, and you fold it in, and then you pour the milk in, so the little box became like a bowl. So that's kind of the idea here. So you see what it did? It's simple. And then you just fold that in. Fold it, and then you just do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to cut it a little shorter, and I'm going to regret it. Be like, why did I cut that so short? Whatever. You could do it this way. There's so many ways to do this. That's why it's hard for me when people tell other people like they're doing it wrong. If it's a blatant you're doing it wrong, like you're running a red light, that's fine. But like, there's so many ways to do things, you know. There's a famous psychoanalyst or psychologist, and she said there's 250 plus ways to do dishes, you know. So, I mean, however works best for you, that's the best way to do it. You know, I used to tell my students that too, like Miss Ann, how do you want us to take notes? I'm like, however works for you. If I would tell a kid you're doing it wrong with the way they took notes by the time they're in high school. I mean, it's different with little kids. But you got to find a system that works for you. And I think that's true for a lot of things. Right? Just say right. Okay. Okay, so now you have this cute little box. And again, with me, I would just keep going. Going and going, but for our purposes here, like I could add the little balls and things, but you see, it's just a cute little box. And then when you get a bunch, you could put something on the inside too. I mean, that's fine. You could also use contact paper, but you see, you can transport your little gifts and be like, oh, look what I made you. It's so nice. And then they could reuse it the next year. That's what my mom's doing. She's like, I love this box so much. And it's basically a free craft. Another cool thing you could do is take newspaper and decorate that, and you could draw on the newspaper. I used to do blackout poetry with my kids. It was so much fun. But you could do sort of like blackout drawing, and you could just draw little pictures all over it, or trace something, make an ornament on it, you know, like all different holiday shapes, whatever it is, whatever holiday it is you're celebrating at the moment. And or just like a thinking of you, you know, whatever. So very easy, very cost efficient, if not free. And I have, oh my God, other things you could do. Like I've collected over the years these little wooden people, clothespins, popsicle sticks, spoons. Like, I don't know if anyone's a baker, you could maybe make a baking thing in here, like put a whisk, some wooden spoons or whatever, and then you could, you know, glue a little spoon on the outside, something like that. I think that would be cute. But there's so many things you can do with this, and I love making things like this. Like I said, it's fast. It's sort of satisfying. I don't like that word, but it is what it is. But it's true, and it's something that people really like, and it's easy to do. You don't need a lot of skill to do this, and it's enjoyable. Like, it's not, you know, cutting 550 pieces of a pattern to make a thing, or spending $750,000 at the craft store to make the thing, which I've done. But I find more enjoyment in this. I like to, because I've always said that creativity is it's not really about how you draw, how you paint, or how any of those things. Because I hear a lot of people say, and I did a lot of grad work on creativity, I hear a lot of people say, I'm not that creative. I think everybody has the capacity to be creative. They have to allow themselves to make mistakes, to fail, because God knows I've been in business for a long time, and I have failed epically at a lot of things. And from that I learned, you know, what not to do next time, and like how to make something better. So enjoy it. Have fun with it. You can always email me if you have any questions. And, oh, yep, cookies. Cookies is a good idea. Oh, Mom approves. Thank you, Mrs. Nancy's mom. Beth, I love you so much. Thank you for using all my... Beth has been a customer for like since the beginning, and that's awesome. So I appreciate every single one of you who signed on here. This is really cool. And I might do it again. We'll see. And I would love it if you guys make this. I would love to see it. I really, really would. I think that'd be really awesome. So if you want to send me pictures, you can email them to me. It's perryhomenaturals@gmail.com. Or you can send them. I have Facebook Messenger turned off because I will never check it. So, like if you have my number, you could text me the pictures too. And I would love to put them up on Facebook and share them with my email list, because I communicate quite frequently on that. And it just reminded me that I didn't tell anybody this was happening. So you guys are just lucky. And yeah, whatever other ideas you come up with for what you make with your little tin can thinger, centerpiece, reusable container, whatever. Oh, you could make them really pretty and store them in your house and put, like instead of a junk drawer, you could have a junk can. You could use a piggy bank. Could put savings for my next big vacation on here, and then pictures of your vacation of where you want to go. But it gotta be like a what are those called? Those are not wish boards. What are they? Manifestation boards? I don't know. Whatever. But you could do that too. I'm gonna stop talking because I'll tell you what, I will continue to have ideas. So if you want to share your brilliance with me, I would love it. And I would love to see what you make. So again, thank you everybody. If there are questions, I'd be happy to take those now. But other than that, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. But I'm glad you were here, and it was fun. And I will do something again. If you have ideas of what you'd like to see, that would be great too.